Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Powers, Superintendent with the Twinsburg City School District. Welcome to Twinsburg Schools Today. Well, we're past the holiday season, we're past the new year, and I hope everyone is still working on those New Year's resolutions. And one of the things that a lot of folks do is have resolutions around being physically fit and well. And today's show is perfect for you if you are one of those individuals, because today we have the pleasure of chatting with two of our outstanding physical education teachers from Samuel Bissell Elementary School. First we have Mrs. Julie Haines. Welcome.
Thank you for having us today.
Absolutely. And Mr. Dominic Schwed.
Glad to be here.
Well, you guys are physically fit and you do such a great job of making sure our students are right in line with that. So today we're going to talk all about physical fitness in the Twinsburg City School District in our elementary school classrooms, right? Because that's where you happen to be. And, you know, in our district we talk a whole lot about the whole child, and most times when you're thinking about school, you're thinking about the ABCs, reading, writing, and mathematics. But we believe in our district that it takes more than that to make sure that kids are successful in school. And a big piece of that has to do with physical education. So how does physical education fit into the recipe of making sure that we're addressing the needs of the whole child?
Well, certainly studies show that being physically active will increase test scores. So we definitely want to make sure that we continue to have physical education. Even if we could have it more, that would be great. But you know, we do get to have it every third school day as it is now, and we try to make the best of it throughout the year.
So at Samuel Bissell Elementary School, we have our second and third graders.
Right.
And if I remember right from being a second grade teacher, PE class is one of the favorite parts of the day.
We hope so.
Why is that the case?
Well, I think the kids just love coming in and being able to express themselves, you know, not having to sit at a desk and listen, being able to move around and interact with their peers. I think that has a lot to do with it. And, you know, we try to make the class fun we come up with games ourselves. We use games that are known, and I think the kids, they love coming in and moving.
They certainly do.
Yeah. I think it's a great stress reliever for kids too.
Ah, yes.
I mean, I think that we, as adults, we use physical activity as a stress relief and an outlet to kind of get rid of some, you know, pent-up energy. And the kids do the same thing. And I know the teachers certainly appreciated that. You know, they get to burn off some energy when they come and see us for 45 minutes, and then, you know, go back to the classroom and are a little bit more focused and ready to go to sit and learn the rest of the day.
So you mentioned the necessity of PE for even just the purpose of relieving some stress in our students.
Yeah.
Are there ways that physical education classes have changed over the years? Maybe back in the day, maybe not such an importance. Clearly we see the importance today. How has it changed? Are there new techniques or new skills or infusion of technology that has changed the look of physical education classes?
Well, over the 34 years I've been teaching, I've seen lots of changes throughout the years. I think the biggest change is the how and the why, and us assessing the students on their knowledge and their ability of the how and the why. The Ohio Department of Education now has very specific standards that we teach by and assess the children through those standards, and I think that that's probably the biggest change throughout the years that I've seen, and it gives it worth, you know.
What kind of skills do elementary school students in particular focus on when they're in their classroom?
Well, we have the 5 standards that we assess the children on. Standard number 1 is actually their motor skills. So, you know, we assess them on their throwing skills and their catching skills, their striking skills. The second standard is understanding strategies. How is our body moving? Why is it moving this way? And what would be the best way to move in this situation or that situation? The third standard is all about fitness, and that's actually the standard we're working on right now in January. When everyone has those New Year's resolutions, we try to put our fitness unit in January.
It's a great idea.
Right.
I need to go visit your classrooms.
Yes, definitely. Come on in, you know. Our fourth standard is about, you know, being a good person. It's about sportsmanship, being respectful of others, treating others how you would want to be treated, or how would you feel if someone reacted that way because they won the game or didn't win the game. So we stress sportsmanship every single day in our classroom. And then the fifth standard is just having a value and an enjoyment for physical activity and physical fitness and nutrition all in one.
Sort of a lifelong skill standard.
Exactly.
Right. And all the things that you just mentioned aren't just meant for second and third grade. Are those standards sort of interwoven through the students' experience in our school district straight through grade 12?
Yeah, we try to align. We work with the PE teachers from the other schools, and we try to make sure that we're aligning, going from Wilcox to Bissell, from Bissell to Dodge, and so on up through the high school. So to make sure that, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, all those standards are the same, K to 12, but it's really just the benchmarks that the kids have to reach inside of each of those standards that really, focuses on their level of learning.
Where it's developmentally appropriate.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. So you mentioned, Mrs. Haines, that you collaborate and you do so well with staff K to 12 in all of the areas, but particularly the physical education department. And last spring, I think it was, we all met together and we took a look at the district's wellness policy.
Yeah.
And we saw that there were some soft spots in the wellness policy, one being a wellness initiative for the staff, and then the second one being health education. In our district, we have health education primarily at the high school. Yeah. And our regular classroom teachers integrate health topics through their regular curriculum. But what we know is that potentially that's not enough for our students. So Mr. Schwed, over last summer, you were very busy collaborating with your colleagues and developed a brand new elementary health curriculum. Why don't you share with our viewers a little bit about what that entails?
So, it's a really, really amazing experience to see it all kind of come to life. We noticed that when talking with classroom teachers that there was a need for students on a number of different topics. The social emotional piece is a huge piece, especially when we're talking about our young tigers and being able to control and understand their feelings and being able to express their feelings in the proper way. So I've been going into classrooms. I'm actually done with my time at Bissell. We did 5 comprehensive health education lessons with them, talking about being able to distinguish the difference between our physical health, our mental and emotional, and our social health. We talked about conflict resolution. We focused on some nutrition as well, being able to read food labels and understanding the 5 different food groups.
Share with our viewers a little bit about the pop can label activity you did. I think it's fascinating.
Absolutely. So so with the little ones, visuals are always important. So when I had them reading food labels, we came across a can of Coca-Cola. So it had 49 grams of sugar, I believe, was the amount of sugar in a single can of Coke.
That's a lot of sugar.
Right, but our little ones, like, what does that mean to them? It doesn't really mean much. So I took 3 different sizes of Coke. So I took a 12 ounce, I took a 20 ounce, and then a big 44 ounce. And I showed them exactly how much sugar. So in the 12 ounce, there was 9 teaspoons of sugar. In the 20 ounce, there was 16 and a half teaspoons of sugar. And then in the 44 ounce, there was 39 teaspoons of sugar. And if you can imagine what those look like in little Ziploc bags, I mean, their eyes were huge, thinking, oh my goodness, I'm putting this much into my body. And I said,
I bet they were surprised.
They were, and they said, I said, imagine what that does to your body. Imagine what this does to your teeth. Imagine, how you would feel after eating this much sugar. And I said, imagine if you just put this much sugar in a 12-ounce glass of water. I'm like, it would not taste good. You would not think it's delicious. So it was just, almost like an aha moment for them, thinking, wow, oh my goodness, look at all the sugar I'd be putting in my body from just 1 can of Coke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are one of those aha moments for students, and then they go home to their parents and they talk about it.
Yes.
And that's really the beauty of education, is not only what happens in the classroom, but how that transfers to life in general.
Definitely. And I encouraged the kids. I said, after every lesson, go home and share with what we're talking about. I had my 3rd graders, they had to make a flyer that was promoting the health benefits of physical activity and encouraging others, to get active. And so I said, I was like, we want it to be bright and colorful, and if somebody saw it on the wall, they'd come over and look at it. And then I said, go home and share this with whoever's at home, and talk about the health benefits of physical activity to try to get them a little bit more active if they need to be.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I found was interesting was a survey that you did about screen time.
Yes.
Students using, whether it's a device or being on watching TV.
Yeah.
What were some of the enlightening points that you shared with the students after you took a look at their survey results.
Yeah, so we had them do a screen log. So I had them marked down for a full week.
Every time they were watching something, they were marking it down?
Exactly.
Okay.
They were writing down the number or the amount of time that they were spending, on a screen, whether it be a mobile device, a computer, if they were watching TV, any of that, or playing video games. And I think it really surprised them to see how much time that they were spending. And you could see that there was kids who had restrictions on their screen time. And then there was some kids who on the weekends, they were spending the majority of their time on the screen, in front of a screen or playing video games. We had kids from as small as 15 to 20 minutes a day, all the way up to 3 to 5 hours a day in front of a screen, not including anything that had to do academically or with school. So I told them that didn't count. It was just purely recreational. Mm-hmm. And I think
that's a lot of time on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it really surprised them too, because maybe they would be spending, an hour in the morning or an hour in the afternoon and then maybe 2 hours at night watching a movie, and it broken up like that might not seem like a lot of time, but when you see that total at the end of the day, I think it was really eye-opening for them.
Now, what grade level was this?
This was third grade.
Third grade students.
Yes.
So what kind of things did you give them as far as an assignment goes once they realized how much time they were spending on the screen?
Right. So, that was like really the pre-lesson for the benefits of physical activity and how it affects all sides of our health triangle, physical, mental, emotional, and social. I said, as long as, screen time's is not bad, but we need to limit it and make sure that we are still getting that, 60 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And I said, especially now, with being so snowy outside and we don't have the opportunity to go out and play basketball in the driveway or go riding our bike or swimming, I said, where are we finding our time? Where are we finding that 60 minutes, and how are we getting that 60 minutes of physical activity a day? Mm-hmm. And we talked about when you come to school, like if you have PE that day and you go out to recess for 30 minutes, you're getting 30 minutes outside, and then you're coming to see us for 45 minutes, so you're already getting that hour in. But how about when it's indoor recess and you don't have PE? And being able for them to think about how am I going to get this hour of physical activity in every single day was it was good for them.
Sure. So that was a third grade lesson, and I know that just like the PE standards, some of the lessons may have a common theme between what we do at Wilcox than what you do at Dodge. Are there any other kind of unique things you're planning to do with, say, the students at Dodge or Wilcox?
So at Dodge, I just finished up fourth grade. We did some really great stuff. We talked about hygiene and, making sure that we're keeping our body healthy and clean.
That is so important at that level of school.
Yes.
Because at that point, bodies are starting to change a little bit, and
Definitely.
It's just good to recognize what they need to do personally to take care of themselves.
Absolutely. And, it's not just, taking a shower every day, but it's making sure that we're brushing our teeth, 2 times a day, that we are, making sure that our hair is clean. Introducing, what deodorant and antiperspirant is. It's important. Because it really helps with their self-confidence and their self-esteem, to know that they're clean and that they're healthy that way. Mm-hmm. We also talked about online safety and our digital footprint, and
yes.
Kind of talking about what that is. And I said, if you already have a phone, if you already have social media accounts, your digital footprint has already begun, and you want to make sure that you're using it responsibly and that you're using it the right way. So that was important as well. I said because you might not think about it now, but as you leave here, as you go to RBC, as you go to the high school, as you go to interview for a job or apply for, a college, I said, people are looking at social media accounts all the way back as far as they can. Mm-hmm. And even because you delete something, that doesn't mean it goes away. Right. And that's important for kids to know as well, that they need to be using the social media responsibly. And I think it's important that we get it early on. So if I'm catching them in fourth grade, they're thinking about this as they get their smartphone.
Right.
As they're starting to use Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest and all of that stuff, making sure that they're using it, the right way. So.
Yeah, and that's a topic that we wouldn't even have thought about in school, not even 5 years ago for elementary school children. But as the world that we live in has changed so much, must we change as educators to make sure that we continue to meet the needs of the students. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I think it was again kind of eye-opening for them. We watched a quick 4 or 5 minute video about how much can be found in just 6 clicks through social media accounts.
I bet that was fascinating.
It was really fascinating. It was funny, I had all the teachers writing down the the link as well so they could show their kids at home. So
good knowledge.
Yeah, it was good to know.
Well, I think that health curriculum is really important, and it goes back to having a comprehensive wellness policy in our district.
Yeah.
And it's more than just visiting PE class 3 times a week. You know, it's all about the nutrition. It's about making sure students are safe. And this social emotional piece has really become front and center in our school district and school districts across Ohio. What are your thoughts about that, social emotional education, and how does the PE classroom help address those kinds of things?
I think it's critical. Like Dominic said earlier, the kids coming in and having that stress release time is so important. If we could get them in there every day, that would be great. But I think now the teachers are bringing it into their classroom. Because they're understanding how important it is. They're getting their kids up. They're having them move throughout the classroom now. And I think it's now, you know, we're working together in that way.
Right.
Getting those kids moving in the classroom as well.
Such an important thing to make sure that our young students understand that balance and being able to use physical exercise, physical activity to balance the stress that they have in their lives. We see so much in literature and research about the stress that students today have, and they need tools in their toolkit to be able to manage that quite well.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I like to think of it too. I mean, as an adult, how often, if you're sitting at your desk, like, I just need to get up and I need to move. I need to take a lap around the building. And our kids are the same way, but sometimes we forget that. So it's good to have those brain breaks inside the classroom to get them up, to get them moving. Let's get in a line. Let's take a walk around the building. Let's burn off a little bit of energy, you know, so we can really start to focus when they start to get a little bit fidgety, which they do. And, you know, that's completely normal. I get fidgety if I'm sitting too long as well.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
So, you know, we just chatted a little bit about some of the changes in the health curriculum thanks to the focus we've had on our wellness policy.
Yes.
But beyond our students, we know that we have a staff of 500 that work to support kids every day in our district. And one of the drivers behind the effort this year has been looking to see how we can infuse more wellness with our staff. And Mrs. Haines, you've been one of the driving forces behind that. Do you want to share a little bit about what we've been doing behind the scenes in our district to help encourage our staff members to be more well?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for actually allowing the staff to really work on that initiative. I think that, you know, without your support, that would have never happened. But, and I think the staff, everyone appreciates it very much. Getting the staff now to think about movement and what it means in their lives and giving them an opportunity to actually, you know, try some things out. The PE staff offering throughout the district many different ways to move or get our bodies to wake up a little bit in different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big workout where you're, you know, busting out a sweat, but, you know, as simple as taking a walk in the park or doing yoga, you know, sitting, if you are someone who maybe can't be up and moving, even just sitting in a chair, and how can I sit in the chair but yet actually get some exercise and movement. We had chair volleyball. So every school offered different wellness approaches, and the staff was able to pick and choose what they wanted to do, and maybe they picked one thing one time and they wanted to try something different the next time, or maybe they just loved what they did the first time and they went back. And I know that the staff appreciates it and really learned a lot through that initiative.
You know, every time we do a professional development opportunity in the district, we have asked our staff to complete an online survey to say, what about today? You know, were the programs that were offered beneficial to you? How can we do better the next time? And I have to say the survey results about the fitness and the wellness effort are off the charts positive. You know, the staff really is encouraged by the opportunities. And like you said, Mrs. Haines, we had so many different things.
We did.
If you couldn't find something you wanted to participate in, well, you weren't looking too very hard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that wasn't the case, because I think everyone really enjoyed the activities. And the nice thing about it is across the district, sometimes you didn't get to see the teacher at the high school if you were an elementary teacher, or you weren't able to get to know who the bus driver was or the instructional assistant. But these kinds of opportunities mixed everybody up, and we were all together just really having a good hour or so of fitness and fun before we were off to the business of education again.
Right. I've offered a fitness program at Bissell for many years now, after school a couple of times a week. It's free, And so ever since, we've had other staff members from other buildings interested, and so now the class has kind of grown, and it's a mixture now of not just Samuel Bissell staff, but other staff as well, coming in and doing fitness just to have a group of fun people to work out with. And I've also started a more overall wellness program at Bissell this year, where I'm trying to give them some tips on maybe healthy recipes or positive thoughts or meditation, and we've even started a Friday morning yoga class.
No kidding.
So for 15 minutes every Friday morning now, a big group of staff at Samuel Bissell are getting together to do yoga before school starts. So that's been a really fun way to just be together, number one, and get our minds ready for the day. And everyone has been so just thankful that they have that. And wow, I just feel great today, after doing that. And so I hope that continues through on, even after I'm not here anymore.
Oh my gosh. Well, and we are so grateful for all that you've done in your years. I know you announced that you're retiring at the end of this year. Oh, I'm so sad about that. Oh, but goodness.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, you have done so many great things in your time here.
Well, thank you.
This year especially, I've kind of hooked into what you're doing, and it's been a fun opportunity, and I wish you all the well in your retirement.
Well, thank you.
Several months to go.
Yes.
So.
And it's not the end of me. I'll be back. But
I'm quite sure you will, and we'll be calling you.
All right, great.
So you mentioned, Mr. Schwed, that it's important for students to get up and get moving, and in the winter months, it is so hard sometimes to combat cabin fever.
Yes.
And on a day like today, by the way, this is a calamity day, and my two outstanding educators are here chatting with me. But it is a calamity day today in Twinsburg schools, so no school. So kids are at home in their living rooms, probably doing too much screen time. What kinds of things can parents look to do with their children to encourage physical fitness over the winter months?
Well, right now, during our fitness unit, every day, we tell the kids different ways that they can, get some activity in the house, even if they can't get outside. We're telling them, while you're watching TV, you could be doing some sit-ups, you could be doing some plank holds. Maybe today, go home and go up and down your steps a couple of times, and then tomorrow, add another time. So you went up twice yesterday, now today you're going to go up 3 times. And so we're hoping that they're thinking about that today as they're home.
Right.
That's a great idea.
And I know, our community has amazing resources as well. I mean, I know that a lot of families use the fitness center as well. So that's definitely an opportunity for kids to go and play basketball, or to walk around the track, or go swimming, and make sure that making sure that they're getting that 60 minutes of physical activity in every single day.
It's nice that there is a choice. There's the Twinsburg Fitness Center, and then there's the Reminderville Athletic Club, and both offer such great opportunities for our families.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So the idea is just to keep moving. Whatever you can do, keeps the brain moving as well.
Absolutely. I always encourage kids. I was telling them during our physical activity lesson in health. I said, and I told them, I said, physical activity improves test scores. I'm like, so if you have a big test that morning, maybe do some jumping jacks as you're waiting for the bus, or get up a little bit early and shoot some hoops in the driveway, or jump rope, or do some sprints in your drive, or anything like that, just to kind of get your brain up and moving before you have like a big test or a big day ahead of you.
Think of it as preparing for the game that night. You're getting ready for the game, so you're getting ready for the test. Same thing.
That's right. I think that's all great advice for our students and for our adults that work with our kids and our parents too.
Definitely.
And happy staff, happy parents, happy kids. So, yeah.
That's right. We say in our business that we teach kids to be lifelong learners. And sometimes we think about that again as the A, B's, and C's, right? But in physical education, it is as important to make sure that we learn those kinds of skills, and that we continue on, that we keep encouraging each other through teamwork and collaboration, that this is really good for you, just not only to keep physically fit, but mentally alert as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, what as a school, as a PE department, that we do so good is we give kids skills necessary to be active outside of school as well, giving them the confidence that, okay, I know how to throw a ball correctly, I know how to kick, I know how to roll, and I'm not going to look silly when I'm doing it because I've been taught to do it the right way. And I think that's really important too, because when you're confident and when you have that positive self-esteem about what you're doing, you're gonna be willing to kind of put yourself out there more and try new things.
Right.
So that's important.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being my guest today on Twinsburg Schools today.
Absolutely. Thanks for
Just a
having
little
us.
trivia. I know this is not your first time at the rodeo here on the show. You were here in 2003
Yes.
as a student when you were at Aurora High School.
Yep, I was.
We'll have to do a before and after shot.
Yeah, with my frosted tips.
Well, thanks again for all that you do to support our students, and it's my delight and my honor to be your colleagues.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having us.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up another show here at the Twinsburg City School District. I hope that you have been motivated to get out and have some fun and be fit and well, and we hope to see you very soon at one of our many events in the Twinsburg City School District. Have a great day, everyone.